Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Week at Shrouded, episode 78. Thanks for watching. I'm your host, AGreener. Today, we've got Mr. Wrecked and Brig. How's it going, everybody? Thanks for being here.
Woo! High energy.
Woo! All right. So we got a great show for you today. Obviously, we're going to talk about the Apollo and Behemoth reveals, along with all the information that goes along with that, with the core activities and rewards. We're probably going to talk a little bit about the 10-year content, or title, I guess, not so much content. And then, of course, we're going to talk about the new dungeon that is releasing with episode 2. And that's it. That's what we got. So why don't we start off, obviously, with... why don't we just start off with the 10-year stuff that they added to the game on Monday. But first, actually, I almost forgot. We need to announce our weekly silver winners. Woo! All right, sorry. If you didn't know, we give away silver every week here on the podcast. We pick 2 people. We give them 2,300 silver. And if you're interested in how you can learn to, join our Discord, shroudedgaming.com/Discord. Once again, shroudedgaming.com/Discord, and check us out. We're a big Destiny community. We play Destiny a lot less in the last couple of weeks, but there's still a lot of hours going into it. Swing by. Anyway, our silver winners this week are Disney Healer and Desi1476. So congratulations to you two. Reach out to AGreener on Discord. That's me. And I will let you know how you can claim your free silver. All right. So we're going to talk very quickly about this 10 years of Destiny stuff that was dropped. It wasn't a lot. There's this a whole bunch of nonsense about some art show in Los Angeles, New York, and London. I don't care anything about any of that. Does anybody here care about going to a Destiny art show?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I mean, I might if it literally landed in my city, but I'm not traveling to go. I'm not traveling to go to an art show.
If it's close by, maybe. Might be
Yeah,
interesting.
well, there's one in Los Angeles, there's one in New York City, and one in London.
Nah.
So, yeah. All right, cool. I just wanted to bring it up. Okay, so we got a couple things in game to help celebrate the 10-year anniversary. I think they're a little lame, to be completely frank. It would have been nice to get some extra stuff, but we got the cosmetics that look like the OG Guardians, somewhat, not obviously completely, but. Did you? How do you like those? Have you guys seen them?
I have them all.
You have them all. All right, there you go. Are
Takes
you
a
wearing
grand
them?
total takes a grand total of 10 minutes to collect them all.
Oh, well.
Am I wearing them? I was when I was doing all the stuff you got to do for the seal.
The title.
Am I wearing them now? No.
That sounds about right. And talking about the seal, just since we're gonna bring it up, there's not a whole lot to talk about on the seal other than people are complaining a lot about the Engram farm. Even though after I looked into it, after arguing with people on Twitter, once again, my life arguing with people on Twitter, about even though I hadn't even done it yet, because that's what I do. I love doing it. I looked into it and found out that it takes about 2 hours if you do it the right way. So I was like, it's not even that long. People were claiming it was like 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 hours of grinding. And I'm just like, there ain't no fucking way.
If you don't set up your console or your computer so that you're getting instances by yourself, it can take more than 2 hours for sure.
Okay, so just set it up. Set it up properly.
It only
anyway,
took
there's
2 hours, and I did half of it. I did like 80% of it. I got to 80% just with somebody, and so I wasn't. We were loading into public zones like without setting anything up, and got to 80% in like an hour, and then I did an hour by myself to finish it up.
Oh, so you didn't even do all that wonky stuff, and it still only took you 2 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, so people are just bitching and moaning for because
I
they
mean, it's
wanted to.
RNG based, so some people it could be taking longer, but for me, it wasn't that bad.
Tell them to stop being bad. Am I right?
Yeah. Fix your RNG. Get better RNG. Duh.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously. Bam. Bam. All right. So when you complete that, you get to buy this new Ace of Spades on the Bungie store. And why don't we just roll right in? I know we
And
talked
you
about it in the pre-show, but we'll roll right into the whole art
and you get an
concept.
emblem, and you get an ornament,
Of course.
an in-game ornament for the gun.
But all right. So Bungie released this Nerf Ace of Spades that you can buy once you do the in-game activities, and then as soon as it was launched, somebody on Twitter said, "Hey, this is my art," and they showed very convincing evidence that it was indeed their art. And Bungie responded, said they're going to investigate, and Rex said earlier that they're going to pay the artist. But most of the internet's up in arms about whether or not why this happened again at Bungie. I don't have an answer for them. I think some of them are overreacting. They're working with vendors. Vendors are making these mistakes, and not in all cases, but obviously this one. It makes you wonder what happened, though. I do wonder, like, did this person must have went online, found the art, and used it, and was like, no one will notice.
Probably. Or
Whoever
they thought
was
it
responsible
official,
for it at Nerf.
or they thought it was real Destiny art. That might
Okay,
be the other
but
thing.
if you're working with Bungie to create art for one of their IRL gun models, do you not ask Bungie for said art? You don't go on Google and look for it. You ask Bungie for it.
Yeah.
So, is this person just an idiot? Like, I don't know. Whoever it is, whoever designed it, I'm not sure actually if it was from Nerf or Bungie or whoever it was, but whoever designed it, they need to be smacked with something because they got this art somewhere. They straight up stole it. I don't blame either one of the companies. I don't think a bunch of CEOs got together and said, "Ooh, that's someone else's art. Let's sell it anyway." Like that didn't happen. Some guy tried to fly it under the radar.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. You imagine it did find out like a fucking video call came out. It was like, this is stolen art, and then this is like all the CEOs are like, doesn't matter, just ship it, and we all look stupid.
Some people think that's exactly what happened. So
that's crazy. That's crazy though. No man, oh man. Anyway, so you have players who earn the legend title before episode Echoes ends will be offered to purchase. So you do need to do it in the next like 30 days so you could get the gun if you want the gun. So
my gun has already shipped.
I saw that you purchased it, and it's actually pretty good. Like $50 for that seems pretty reasonable.
Yep,
$50.
Yeah, $50 for a Nerf blaster. It's not beyond the pale for a high-end Nerf gun. Obviously, this is not going to be, the internals are probably not going to be high-end for as far as Nerf guns go. But I don't care. I'm down with it.
It's still pretty nice if it's like the right size. It's $50. It's the Ace of Spades model with a different skin, like the Nerf skin on it. But I still think it's neat. Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna buy one, but I don't know. Maybe I will.
Hold on. $50.
$50. Yes.
Dude, what the fuck are they thinking, man? Are they really that desperate? That baffles me. I thought it was gonna be like what, $10 maybe? Same price as what are the usual prices for skins anyway? Like what, $10
It's
maybe?
not. It's not a skin.
Not the skin. It's the physical.
It's a physical Nerf gun. Like when it gets here, the very first thing I'm gonna do is take it out of the packaging, load it, and shoot my wife with it. The Nerf gun. I'm gonna shoot her with a Nerf gun.
Yeah. No, this is a physical
Holy
Nerf
shit!
gun
Don't
from the
clip
Bungie
that.
store.
If you clip that, you're banned off the server.
Okay.
I'm going.
AGreener will unban you, but not before I ban you.
I didn't know it was a physical Nerf weapon. That
yeah, it's a physical
that
Nerf
changes
gun.
the story.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
imagine that I was okay with a $50 skin? Because I was
That's
just
why.
like, that's not unreasonable.
No, that's exactly why I was like, hang on a minute. You
I
didn't.
wouldn't be spending $50 on a single weapon skin in Destiny.
I wouldn't do it in any game.
Oh yeah.
You
My
specified
goodness.
Destiny, but there's no game that I would spend $50 for a skin.
I mean,
Okay, thanks for
listen,
clarifying that, because I was actually about to open up the game and actually take a look and see if it was there or something. But
Eclipse had a knife drop for CS2 today that is worth $350. So people, it's not terribly unusual for people to pay like stupid amounts of money for digital goods, you know.
Now that you mention that, though, I've definitely spent hundreds of dollars on knife skins for Counter-Strike. So I guess I would do that. Never mind.
For the right game.
For the right game, yeah.
Yeah, not Destiny.
Not Destiny. Counter-Strike. And
maybe
Knives
a
Up.
DLC, a certain one. I don't know.
No, they dropped
I don't know.
the fucking teddy bear outfit for Destiny. Greener might, and it's like, this is a $40 skin. Greener might think about it.
The one from
But
Stellar
he's
Blade.
already fucking thinking about it.
I'd buy that for $40, yeah.
See?
Yeah, Destiny.
He's like,
Absolutely.
Valorant prices? I don't care.
Yeah, see, I guess I'm wrong. It just needs to be the right skin.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, alright. Yeah, whatever. What can you do? That's funny. Fuck. Anyway, so yes, Nerf gun. You need to finish this before the end of the episode to be able to unlock the fact to buy that at the Bungie store. It's one of those reward systems that they have. All right, that's 10 years of Destiny. There's nothing else on here that's of any interest, I don't think. So
if you're watching this and you haven't gone to get the armor and then pick up the ornaments at the tower, just go do that part, even if you're not going to do the rest of it. If you're not going to do the seal, fine, but the armor and the ornaments will only be available for a limited time, so go grab them. It literally takes 2 minutes to do it on one character.
Yeah. You should also do the seal, considering it's probably the easiest seal in the game to get. And if you don't have one, it's probably the perfect one to get.
Supposedly they're increasing the enemy density in Skywatch next week to try and
make it
easier.
even easier.
Yeah.
Crazy. Okay, so the biggest news of the week, obviously, was during the 10-year anniversary day, Monday, when they dropped all this stuff. They also dropped 4 articles regarding Destiny's future to give people a little information. They clearly don't have a lot of what they're doing. You can tell that by looking through all these things, and they have placeholder guns and placeholder icons, everything. But they've got a plan, which is what they gave us. Said plan completely shakes up Destiny's annual system. Well, I use the word completely lightly. We'll see what it actually does. So essentially what we're looking at from moving forward is 2 expansions per year. We'll see. Currently an expansion plan for next summer, codenamed Apollo. And an expansion currently set for winter 2025, which I thought was interesting. You'd think they would, well, I guess I'm surprised it didn't say winter 2026, because to be clear, winter there's only 6 days of winter at the end of or 9 days of winter at the end of the year, because the winter starts December 21st. So it's probably winter 2026 that they plan on dropping that expansion. What do you think?
Christmas, maybe? Christmas gift for all of us?
That would be crazy, but I would think they do like a June or maybe like a July, February release. July, February. But maybe not. Maybe they plan on doing like June, December.
I don't know. The one thing that really stands out to me here is, well, I'm just looking at this little diagram, I guess.
Yeah.
So obviously new raids and dungeons. That stands out to me a little bit more because I really love doing dungeons. But like, what in there besides like Vex? I know that they don't have a lot of like Vex dungeons, and that's going to be interesting. But man, fighting Vex to me is kind of boring compared to fighting everything else. So I think that's pretty interesting that they might release a little bit more Vex raids or dungeons and give it a little bit more content, because there is a lot of like raid and dungeon grinders in SGC as a whole. But the stories is what also kind of stands out to me. Like, what other stories can they really put in there besides Vex? Because like we just killed off the big bad guy, who's like representing darkness or whatever. Or is it going to expand upon the what is it, the Winnower? And yeah, like
Maybe.
there's gonna have to be like what these weird seasons that we're seeing so far with a bunch of like what more of the helm and more of listening to, what the hell do you call it, I guess recordings on that little dashboard next to the frog or whatever the hell that thing is called.
Yep, Captain Jacobson.
Yeah, I can't believe I grinded like what, how many missions was it, 3 maybe, to get him and nothing else. But I think that the new raids and dungeons will probably be like the most interesting aspect of you know, these upcoming updates. But
Yeah. Sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I was going to say, I totally agree with you. I am very curious to see what a lot of this stuff actually means. How I read this is we get 2 big expansions each year. During the expansions, there's a seasonal story arc that lasts for 6 months. And then there's 2 updates, one that happens at the beginning of the season and one happens in the middle of the season. That update the activities that we're doing and the reward pass that we're getting. So essentially, episodes are gone. Like, episodes came and they're gone. They're already gone. So we're doing the 3 episodes this year and then they're poof, goodbye. And DMG even responded to the question that said that. So episodes are gone this year, and he said yes, they're gone. So clearly that model, they already hated that model. They knew it before we even hated that model, because there's no way that they were just like, they heard a response from season 1 and then we're just like, oh, let's scrap this concept altogether and rebuild. Like, they already knew they hated it, which is unfortunate. It's just not good for episode 2 and 3. But we'll see. We'll see what we get out of those. Now, the new raids and dungeons, yes, absolutely. If this reads the way, or if this actually is launched the way it
here comes the 2 raids. Here comes the 2 raids theory.
It's not a new theory. It says right here, if you look at it, it says expansion gives you new story, new location, new mission, new weapon, new gear, new raids, and dungeons. It doesn't say expansions. So it's saying you get all of that stuff in each expansion. It's written right there. It's not a theory. That's common sense.
A theory. It's written by Bungie. It's written by Bungie. The context of reading this article is it's written by Bungie.
Okay.
How many times have we had something written by Bungie or written into the game of Destiny that
never
read one way and was completely not what the community was interpreting? And then they came through and they published a patch to change the text. So they came back through and they changed the text of the article. Anybody who thinks we're getting 2 raids next year I think is crazy. You should be. No. That should be one of the things.
You know what's going to happen? Apollo's going to get a raid, okay? And then the fall major update is going to get a dungeon. And then Behemoth is going to get a raid, and the spring major update is going to get a dungeon. That's I'm calling it now. All right,
a year from now, Greener's going to be like, they lied about 2 raids.
You know what? I'm not, because I remember I'm a Bungie cockrider. So I'm going to be like, whatever. They never actually said there was going to be 2 raids. I just assumed. And I'm going to say that on Twitter, and then everybody's going to gif me all to hell. They're going to gif
Lots of people have assumed there's 2 raids until Bungie actually clearly says there's going to be 2 raids next year. There's going to be a raid for each of these expansions. Then I'm going to choose to believe that is not what it's going to be.
Okay, so here's what I want. All right. So an expansion says new raids and dungeons. New raids and dungeons. So we're getting raids and dungeons for Apollo and raids and dungeons for Behemoth. So that's 4 raids and 4 dungeons in 1 year. Does that sound good? Let's do it.
I'm glad you've set yourself up for heavy disappointment.
No, I'm setting other people up for disappointment. I'm expecting 2 raids and 2 dungeons. We'll see what we actually get. Obviously, the seasonal update. So the seasonal update that takes 6 months across this board gives you new and reprised activities, new gear and artifact mods, new modifiers, challenges, new sandbox meta, and new events. And then the reward pass, exotic weapon order, the standard stuff that we get. But we still get 4 reward passes, 2 seasons, but 4 updates. It's gonna be confusing how they lay it out when they do it. But we shall see exactly what we're looking at when the time comes. I'm expecting like these major updates to be like activity changes in the middle of a long seasonal story.
Probably.
That's time gated the shit out of it. What do you think?
You're probably right. It's also going to be
Yeah.
whenever they do their meta shakeups, they do their sandbox changes.
Yeah. So it's going to look weird to people that we only get 2 seasons, 1 per expansion. But I think the updates they're gonna shake it up enough that it doesn't feel exactly the same. Hopefully, that's what I'm hoping for. Bungie isn't always the best, but the 4 major updates are free, so that's also confusing.
The only thing I care about in this entire first article, really, is that they are confirming that they are starting a new saga, a new overarching story.
Yeah.
Even though it's going to be made up of smaller stories, it's going to be smaller stories that are all actually related to a bigger arc. And that says to me that all the numbskulls that keep talking about we got to go fight the winner are just full of shit. The Light and Dark saga is over. Get over it. It's done. The Winnower isn't an enemy to go fight. It's a fucking force of nature, just like the fucking Traveler is.
We talked about this last week.
Shit.
We don't need to go to... I could fight the Traveler. Okay? Just so you know. FYI. So comparing it to the Traveler doesn't make sense. But yes, they confirmed that the multi-year saga will start with Codename Apollo. They've also confirmed that the way they're going to run through these stories is a non-linear progression system, which sounds really interesting to me. But also I don't really care if it's linear or non-linear.
You still have to do all the missions. You just get to pick
Yeah,
the order
probably.
what you're going to do.
You just get to pick the order in which you do them. But whatever. All I got to say, give me new raids, new dungeons, new strikes. I'm happy as fuck. Just boom, baby. That's all I want. That's all I want, Destiny. Literally the only thing I want. Nothing else.
A new raid. What if there's one raid that kind of stands out to me that might be considered new.
If it's not new, it's not new.
I wouldn't really call it a new raid, but it might be like new to some people who started Destiny 2 as their first Destiny. They haven't released Wrath of the Machine.
That's a Destiny 1 raid. But,
yeah, right. But what I'm saying is, like, what if they do release 2 raids a season? Do you think that could be one of them? I don't know.
Well, that's the only raid from Destiny 1 that hasn't been released yet. It doesn't make sense for them to skip this year and then throw that in as a reprise raid next year, in my opinion. I think if they're going to come out with these new expansions and say there's new raids in them, that they just come out and give us 2 new raids. If they come out in a year when they're about to release this stuff and say we're going to give you a new raid and a reprise raid, then fine, bring it on. But unless they release Wrath of the Machine this year, which nobody thinks they're going to because of the 2 dungeons we're supposed to be getting, 1 each season, then I don't even expect to see it for a while,
right?
Or ever. But if they do the whole reprise raid thing as a way for new raids, then yeah, we're gonna get Wrath of the Machine. They're gonna bring back Scourge, Leviathan, Crown of Sorrow.
You just watch. It's gonna be like they give us Leviathan this year.
What if it is?
And then Apollo, it's gonna be Eater of Worlds, and then for Behemoth, it's gonna be Spire of Stars.
That would really suck.
That's actually really funny though, because that was the original release schedule, and the 2 annual. The two expansion passes that come with year 1, those were the raids for them. So I think that was the joke that he was trying to make. That would be really funny because there's memes on the internet right now that are like, oh, year one, we left you behind, and then this was, I don't know, it's someone comes crawling back, and it's Destiny 2 year one, because it's the exact same model minus the season stuff. It's the 2 expansions per year, which everybody, not everybody hated. They were low. They weren't filled with a lot of content, but people just hated year one specifically, just mainly because of the meta and stuff.
Year one didn't really have a lot of content in it, from what I recall. Like that's what made me quit like quickly. And then
you had year one, or you had the Red War, you had Leviathan, and that's it. Crucible.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
And you were using double primary and fucking Leviathan. So that was another reason people hated it. And then, of course, we got, Warmind and Curse of Osiris. And those raids were okay, but they were pretty small in comparison to Leviathan. So people were kind of just like, well, those are kind of weak. And the gear that you got in those, I don't remember there being anything particularly interesting. I can't think of anything. Maybe I'm wrong. Except for the emote that you got from Spire. The chalice, whatever it's called. I forget what it's called. The chalice emote. Where you sit on the thing and drink from the chalice. Yeah.
That's an old one.
That's from Spire Stars.
Yeah, I wasn't active at the time. I played Leviathan, and then once I was done with that, once, then I was just like, okay, what the hell do I do now? And then I just stopped playing it. Came back for, I think it was the second expansion where they were on Mercury.
Yeah.
And didn't play that for too long.
Yeah, well, of course not. There was only 2 hours of content.
Yeah. And there wasn't a raid release for that. This is just something that I remember, again, 9 years ago when I was playing it. And
there was a Spire came out during that raid, or during that expansion. Just FYI.
Really?
The raid layer, yeah.
Yeah, because the way it worked was Destiny 2 release was Leviathan, and then there was Warmind, which was Eater of Worlds came with that, and then there was Curse of Osiris, which is what you're talking about, which had Spire of Stars. There was 3 raids in year one. That's why it's not unreasonable to expect 2 raids.
Raid layers do not count as raids.
If you give me 2 raid layers, I don't give a fuck. That's enough. Let's go. You think Ron is not a raid layer? Because it is.
Is it? Explain. I'm curious.
It's just as short and boring. The only difference between a raid and a raid layer is how short they were.
Yep.
Eater of Worlds was, you had the jumping encounter, and then the ad clear encounter, and then the 2 boss encounters, right? The same boss.
Don't ask me if I haven't played it.
Okay, so basically you had stupid encounters that took 10 minutes total, and then you had a boss encounter that was it was the same boss, but it had 2 encounters, like Crown of Sorrow, which was also a raid layer. Or was it?
No,
did they consider that a raid layer?
Crown of Sorrow was an actual raid.
But it's the same thing, right? Ad clear, jumping puzzle, boss. That was the 2 same things.
It's the same. It's the same formula. The only difference with the raid layers is one, they're reusing a location, right? And the 2 actual raid layers were a little bit shorter, right?
Yeah, they were shorter. You can do Eater. You can do Eater pretty quick. But Scourge was considered a raid as well, but you could do that in 20 minutes if you blew through it. So it's just as short as Eater.
Scourge had a Sparrow race.
Okay. Anyway. Crown of Sorrow sucked too, man. Ad clear, jumping puzzle, and then Galarian twice. Who cares? Literally the same encounter. Anyway, but I just said literally on stream or on the recording, give me 2 raid layers and I'll be happy, and then I've just shit on every single raid layer that we have.
Yep.
Maybe I won't be happy, chat.
Maybe
I won't be happy. All right. Anyway, I'm going to defer judgment until a few more months when we get a little bit more details on what's coming next.
I want to see what this arc is going to be about. The story arc is going to be the make or break portion for me.
That's funny because I could care less what the story is. The story is not why I play Destiny. At all. Not even a little bit. No, not even a smidge. Not even a smidge. I could care less in so many ways. Didn't care about the witness. Didn't even know who the witness was until like Lightfall, to be completely honest. Because I paid so much attention to the storyline. Had no idea who the fuck I was talking to at the end of Shadowkeep. Like, I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Who cares? Anyway, move on. I remember playing year 1, and when Black Whisper came out, or whatever it's called, the mission, Whisper. I had no idea it was Zol talking in that mission the whole time. I just heard some guy talking, and I was like, whatever, shut up, dude. It wasn't until probably like year 3 or 4 that somebody said that's Zol, the boss from Warmind. I was like, oh, what? All right, cool. Yeah, they were like, that's the whole part of the whole story. Were you not paying attention? I'm like, fuck, did anybody pay attention to Warmind? Because I didn't. All I knew is I played for an hour and a half and then did a strike and it was over. And I was like, oh, okay, that was a good expansion.
Just playing Destiny for that fat SGC money, man.
Yeah, baby. I didn't even make money back then off the SGC. Not a lick. Not a dollar.
If it wasn't for you guys opening your wallet, you wouldn't be playing this shit anywhere.
He's got nothing to say to that either.
Listen, that's not true. I did it for years and years and years before we started doing a Player of the Week stream, and even for years after that, the Player of the Week stream didn't get popular enough that we actually made enough. Like, listen, when you know how many expansions we give away nowadays, it ranges anywhere depending on obviously the support. But since Beyond Light, it's been anywhere from 40 to 140 for each different expansion that we've given away. You know how many Forsaken that we gave away?
Tell us.
1. That's all we could afford. Nobody was making any money. How many Shadowkeeps did we give away? 3. Because we were not making money. We did not start making money till closer to Beyond Light, probably a couple months from Beyond Light, and then we were able to give away tons of Beyond Light, and it was great. It was awesome. It was a lot of fun. But I did this shit for 3.5 years with not being able to give tons of stuff away. So it's got nothing to do with the money. It was my point. It's got nothing to do with the money. The money makes it a lot more fun to bring stuff in, give things away, but it's got nothing to do with why Shrouded even exists. Because there was no money for the first 3.5 years. Not a lick. I remember when we made our first $100 in 1 month off Patreon, and I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. They're giving me money. Money makes everything fun. It'd be a lot more fun if I could keep it all and buy cocaine and hookers with it, though.
No, you probably bought that whole setup behind you.
Those lights, yeah, they're nice.
All right,
I've definitely invested some of the money into the streaming setup, but I mean that's the whole point, isn't it?
So I see where all my money's going.
Yeah, I specifically take your money and don't give it back to the community. I spend it on myself.
Mm-hmm.
Only you.
Developer Insight, Core Game Activities, aka Fuck You Gambit.
He's trying to push us around. All right, let's go. Which one did you want to do?
Next one is Core Game Activities.
Well, not on my list, but that's okay. All right, Core Game Activities. Did you say AKA Fuck Gambit?
Yep. It's
Okay.
the only one not getting an update.
Yeah, from what I read about this is we're gonna have more ways to customize each of the activities that we're doing to give us better rewards.
Yep, indeed.
Yep. Similar, not similar or exactly the same, but as Nightfalls actually used to be. Like,
Also, your individual performance is going to influence how good the rewards you get.
oh, so you can't just be a lazy fuck like me and
Basically,
get carried.
your team score will like set a bar, but where you get in that tier of whatever reward you're going to get is going to be influenced by how you did in the activity.
Oh yeah, you're screwed.
Well,
You're screwed, Greener. You're screwed.
You know,
I had a lot of
listen,
evidence last week.
yeah, I get that, but that's also not my fault. You guys just move so fast. Like, even if I was good at the game, trying to interact with chat while streaming and whatnot, it slows you down for like 2 seconds, and then when you no, but listen, but when you get up to the next room, everything's already dead. Like, that wasn't my fault.
He just needs to get quicker.
Also, what the fuck is this Titan shit where you can go into a GM and just keep uppercutting everything without dying?
Oh, it's consecration. Time
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but what the fuck? Like, that shit's so OP. Like, if I walk into a group of enemies as a hunter, I die instantly.
You don't dodge?
Yeah, I can
You know,
dodge
set
and
the
become
freezing thing on
invisible,
them?
but I don't get to kill everything.
Do
You
have
guys
the
just
button?
walk in, uppercut, everything dies. If you're being shot by like 7 different angles, you're like, whatever, dude. Let me just walk over here and uppercut this motherfucker. He dead. Let me walk over here, uppercut this motherfucker. He dead. And I'm just like dodging into invisibility and like hiding in the corner because I'm being murdered.
So yeah, what kind of class item do you have then? Is it the exotic type? If you have,
Well, it depends if I'm running prismatic. Yeah, sure.
you can technically make a hunter or a titan, but it's a lot harder to kill melee wise enemies around you compared to the titan. I agree with that. And every time a titan gets a melee kill, it could be consecration, it can be just a regular melee, you get health back immediately. And then on top of that, orbs will spawn in, and then if you have that certain, I don't remember what it's called, restoration armor mod on your leg, then you get health back again. So it's like 2 times the charm there. So sounds to me you need to make it tight.
I have a Titan. They're very annoying, and I hate
He
them.
doesn't
They're
need to
slow.
make a Titan. Just needs to build his hunter correctly so he can.
Listen, I know how hunters work. I know all their builds. I know I can run, fucking whatever I want with the arc and prismatic. And if I wanted to run around punching things, I could with lyre and fucking Calibans or whatever the shit. I know how they work. It's not the same. Trust me. I've run that stuff. I've built that stuff. I can't stand in the middle of enemies in a GM, no matter how fucking strong you think I am, and survive. But I watched these 2 motherfucking Titans stand there like a bunch of crayon-eating motherfuckers, getting the shit kicked out of them, and they never even die. Like even broke their shields. I swear to shit, it's not the same.
What
I don't
if
care what
told
anyone
you
says.
You could do that on both hunter and warlock as well.
No, well, I don't know anything about warlock, but whatever. They can't do that
Set
shit.
the seps, and there's another one for melee specifically. I forgot what it was though. I'm actually gonna look it up real quick because I have it. Syntheseps and let's see here. Caliban. Yep, Caliban and Syntheseps. That's what I use in GMs for hunter. Granted, it's harder, but going in invis every second once you kill an affected add target with the stasis ability.
Mm-hmm.
Invis every time, and then orbs spawn in, and then you get health back, and you get health back from meleeing. But that's the only affected target. I agree, it's harder, but yeah, sounds to me that you need to get that class item, and then it'll be easy.
I mean,
Hopefully.
I could use the assassin's class item to go and viz every time I kill somebody with a melee. It's the same thing.
You said, yeah, that just goes along with the build. I mean, I don't know too much about the hunter build specifically, but that's what I run. And
Well, my point is, I do know how hunters run. I've been playing one for 7 years. There is ways to do that stuff. It's just not the same. I don't care what anybody's like. Oh no, you just need this. Fuck, I have every build there is. All right, I've tried them all. I cannot stand still in a firestorm of hate as a hunter. It's just not possible. I don't care what you're running.
Hang on.
It's not
You're
a skill
that-
issue.
Who's gonna
are you
carry
saying
the
that-
boats? Not Greener's hunter.
Yeah, definitely not. He needs to get on Titan more. No, but like, are you saying that Titan stood still? We couldn't stay still. We actually had to keep moving around.
No, but you would uppercut into a group of enemies. A few of them would die, and then there'd be like 6 of them shooting you, and you just uppercut again.
Yeah.
There's no fucking exotic or abilities or anything on a hunter that would cause you to survive more than half a millisecond in that group of people shooting you. You would just be dead unless you were invisible.
Yeah, what you get from your melee that you kill.
Yes, I get that. I understand, but being invisible is a pussy way out. I hate that shit. I want to be able to take the shots in the face, like you
Then
guys.
play a hunt or play a Titan.
Play a Titan.
Oh.
There you go.
Or
No,
play a Warlock.
Titans are so ugly. They're the worst character in the game. I don't care what anyone says. I don't like playing ugly characters. Have you seen my Titan? She looks like a dumbass bitch.
Fucking plays the hunter, hates the hunter playstyle, wants the Titan playstyle, refuses to play a Titan.
No, I just want to be as strong as a Titan.
You are as
you
strong
can.
as a Titan.
No, I'm not. You cannot take as much damage as a hunter. I don't care what anyone says.
That is holy shit. You have
I'm
the
starting
same
to-
number of hit points based on your resilience.
Oh my god. Yes, but there's healing and there's bonus resilience and bonus damage reduction and a myriad of different abilities on both classes. So it's not the same just because you have the same hit points. All right, let's move on. I'm right, you're wrong. And that's all that matters.
I don't know about that one, Chief.
I do, and it's not correct.
It's 100% correct. I'm a brilliant man. Okay, so yeah, we kind of talked about this, but basically challenge customization is what this is. And I think that it's good to add stuff in there as long as it doesn't suck. Like, is everybody just going to be running Master 1 with all modifiers on and be able to run it no problem to get the max rewards? Or is that going to be like the elite of the elite that are actually able to do that? And then normal people are running like expert 1, 2, 3. You know, so it depends on how those activities like grind out. And has anybody ever noticed I know these are placeholder images, but do you think we're getting like a light reset? Because all the light in all these images are like 300, 400, 370.
Wouldn't matter to me at all.
I think so.
You know what's happening? We're getting on the thingy-mabob in the 3rd episode. What's it called? The big ship. What?
Our Dreadnought.
Yeah, the Dreadnought, and it's going to take us out, and we're going to be too far away from the Traveler's Light, and we're all going to lose our light. Oh, like a bunch of light. Come down to 370. It'd be like the Red War all over again.
Somebody clip that. I actually want to bring
clip
this
that
up. I really want to bring this up next year and see if he's absolutely right or absolutely wrong.
No, I mean, even if they do drop our light level, they don't need to. I mean, it would be smart of them to tie it into the story, but I guess we'll see.
Bungie we're talking about.
Bungie's pretty good at storytelling.
Says the man who doesn't play the game for the lore.
Yeah, but I know a lot of other people do, so they must be good at it, right?
Says in one breath, Destiny story sucks. Literally said that on the stream earlier tonight. Now says Destiny writes pretty good stories.
I'm pretty sure what I said. I'm pretty sure what I said is I don't care about Destiny's story.
You also said the story sucks.
Well, it does suck, but
they're good at writing shitty material.
I can recognize when other people enjoy things, and when it's a large majority, then I can recognize that I have a different opinion, and they're probably good at writing. I just hate it. I don't care about it. It's garbage. Anyway, so whatever. It doesn't matter. Let's move on to the next thing. They said they're not going to be. Fucking what is it called? Sunsetting any activities other than the seasonal ones this year.
Yep.
So that's cool.
So that just tells me that they're scrapping their fuck up and they're putting in hopefully not another fuck up.
They're just not going to get rid of any more raids or dungeons. Basically, is what they're saying. So that's nice.
Okay.
That's all that means. Well, no zones, no, they're not going to do what they did before. That's for sure. They're going to continue to get rid of seasonal activities. I do think these updates are going to have seasonal activities. I still think they're going to go away every year, but any core game stuff like raids,
Maybe
regions, and dungeons, they're not going to get rid of Gambit. It's always going to sit there. All right, core rewards.
We want to do the portal before we go to the rewards because the rewards has a lot more meat to it.
Nah, I'm just gonna say that you can upgrade your guns. That's it, and then I'm gonna leave.
No.
All right. Let's do the portal. Okay, they're changing the director. Cool.
Yep.
All right, that one's done. No, there's well, really, that's all it is. They've given us a little placeholder thing here. That's, you can select solo ops, fire teams op, pinnacle ops, crucible ops, event. They said it's a placeholder. This isn't the final product, but that's the concept of what they're going to do. It's going to make the destination map a little bit what they want to do is make the destination map not as fucking crazy. So they're giving us another option called the curator that's going to have easier way to go through and pick activities that you want to do. And then hopefully in the future that they can work on the destination map to make it not look so shitty.
Their premise is that people don't know how to that some activities exist because it's hard to find activities in the director.
Yeah, Onslaught. I didn't even know it existed after this final shape update. Like I was like, oh, it exists.
Yeah, it's in the Vanguard. Yeah. Anyway, so they're going to try to make that better. So we'll see when Apollo comes out if it's any better or not. Really, this is very. I hope we get to. I hope it has that background that's there. That'd be great to see my traveler thing every time I open my activity screen. I'd be down for that.
I would like it to be something that changes like every. A couple times a year to a different background to kind of signal.
Why not every time you open it and it's never the same thing?
I think it should be like related to whatever the story is for that expansion or that major release. Personally, I think that'd be cool.
Anyway, in reality, that's all that is. They're updating the portal, which will be cool. All right, let's talk about your weird ass weapon upgrades that you think are so important. I'm just kidding. They're pretty interesting. At first look at it, you look at it and it's like, they want to give us a deeper range of, tiers rather than just gun adept.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of complicated a little bit?
I don't know. In reality, when you think about it, it's maybe, I don't know, but we're going to be able to upgrade our weapons moving forward, so they get better and better and better as we go along.
So 5 tiers of weapons or something. Like they haven't totally confirmed that that's going to be what's going on, but like at a baseline, the weapons and armor we have now are what we can expect to have in the future, but there'll be better versions of every gun and all the armor in multiple tiers.
How they're going to keep us fucking grinding
that you can earn. You can earn through those difficulty sliders we mentioned earlier, right?
We get my 87th fucking.
And they gave a mock-up of what the new weapon screen is going to look like, and it's got like every column has enhanced traits, and the origin trait is enhanced. We have no idea if we're going to actually be able. We don't know if we're going to actually be able to enhance that or what the tiers are going to add on, but hopefully they're going to be meaningful. I mean, it could just be minor as you go up. What I would like is for people to still be able to be effective in all content with baseline weapons, but the higher level weapons and armor are make things easier. I am interested to see what tiered armor is going to bring. Are they going to give us set bonuses? Is armor going to?
Oh fuck! Please, I've been asking for that ever since year 1.
Is the armor going to give you more stats as it goes higher? Is it going to just unlock artifice? Are you going to be able to get artifice on any armor as long as it's the right tier? I don't know. They didn't really say much in here about that, but the main thing that came out of here for me is
You better not talk about the weapon crafting paragraph, or I'm going to punch you in the wiener.
what's happening with weapon crafting.
I knew that you were going to bring it up because I saw your tweet on this is the most exciting part of this
Well,
this
listen.
paragraph.
It says
Anyway, go
right
ahead.
here, our intent for crafting going forward is to provide a catch-up mechanism for roles you weren't able to nab from the original sources. This may be because the source is no longer available or was gated by lockouts when it was. But ultimately, we want this is the important line, but ultimately we want crafting to support the weapon chase, not replace it. And we'll follow up with more details at a future article. Now, just like Greener inferred that there was going to be 2 raids in multiple dungeons. Now it's my turn to do the same thing. All right. So this infers to me that a crafted weapon will not be able to be as good as a high tier weapon that you got through RNG, because they want people to grind. They want that grind to be rewarding. They want people to play the game more. Ultimately, is what it is. And they're going to go through the dopamine hit of rewarding your time with more loot. And as somebody who has 9,500 hours on this game, I am all for me having better guns than somebody that doesn't put in the same amount of hours, even though they've got double enhanced crafted gun. I want them to have the double enhanced crafted guns so they're not a potato in the raids that I'm running. You know what I mean? But if my gun's better than theirs and it's because I've put in the time to do the grind, I think that's good. I think that's appropriate. I will tell you that there are a lot of people that vehemently think otherwise, though, because I've encountered them on Reddit. I had a discussion about this on Reddit when it first dropped, and people are very angry at the suggestion that the high tier random drops could be better than a crafted gun.
Well, it says right here that it will be. So
It doesn't.
Oh,
It
no.
doesn't
what it
explicitly
says.
say that, but that's how
Yes,
I'm
it does.
interpreting it.
we want
that's
crafting to support the weapon chase, not replace it. That's it. That's that right there. It supports it. Now, I wonder how, like, 6 months down the road, are we going to be able to upgrade or use crafted weapons to upgrade to a tier 5, or is it just going to be?
Well, no, I would doubt it, because this is in effect
But
sunsetting
it's this catch-up
2.0
mechanic, though.
without sunsetting anything, right?
Yeah,
We're gonna
they're just
sunset
making
things
all
by
the new
just
guns better.
all the new guns are gonna be better because you can get higher tiers of them, or you can just get your patterns and be done if you don't want to spend a bunch of time farming for them. And your guns won't be as good, but they'll still be all right.
Is
Scared
this
now.
sunsetting 2.0? You're so right.
Listen, power creep is how you sunset gear without sunsetting gear. I mean, all games do this. For everybody that wants to talk about Warframe never getting rid of content, this is exactly what Warframe does. They introduce new tiers of gear, or new gear that's clearly better, or new versions of the same gear that's clearly better than the old version, so you go grind it out. Can you still go grind all that old shit? Yes, in fact, you have to if you start out new, to get to the middle tier, to get the shit that's in the middle, to get to the next tier, to get that shit, to finally get to the end game, right? Or you get your friends to power level you. But that's beside the point. It's the same kind of concept. So do I think we've all got vaults full of stuff that's going to be markedly worse than the new gear that's got this tier system on it? I absolutely think so. And you know what? If I'm still playing the game because the new saga interests me, I am all for it.
Cool story, bro.
I'm honestly scared of it.
Why?
But at the same time, it also kind of adds a goal to it. Same reason why I just keep playing dungeons is because there's a lot more roles. Like, believe it or not, I've played a lot of like Ghost of the Deep, and I still don't have the god roll of the rocket. And I've been trying so many times. So I guess that could be a little interesting thing to introduce to the game. But there's always going to be that other half that doesn't want to do it, as you explained on like people on Reddit. Like people are gonna be like lazy and such, but like it seems like what you said. It's taking that turn toward what Warframe does. Add more tiers, and I guess Bungie's finally taking notes and just being like, yeah, we should probably do that. Give them a reason to play more.
Well, I mean, in the same vein, just like in that game, you can get by with lower tier
Right.
stuff. Like, I don't want crafted weapons to be useless. I want them to still. I want to be able to go into a raid with a full squad that just has crafted stuff, doesn't have any high tier weapons, and still be able to get through raids like we can today. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? I don't want people to feel like they can't play because they don't have that high tier stuff. I never want to see somebody get kicked from a raid because they have it. But, you know, so I want the crafted stuff to be serviceable. I don't want it to be trash, but I don't mind if tiered stuff is better because you spent time farming it. Or, I mean, anybody who plays the game a lot will understand this experience. Like this season especially, it felt like red borders were just being handed out like candy. Like on day one of this episode, I had 2 of my patterns unlocked just by playing the story on all 3 characters. They were done. I had them all, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have all the patterns now, but I keep getting those guns to drop. It'd be nice if while I was doing other things and these guns are still gonna drop, if there was a chance that even though if I wasn't focusing on grinding that stuff, that a slightly upgraded version, like so maybe it's not a tier 5 that drops, but I get a tier 3 as a random reward because I'm playing Crucible and it's a gun I already have crafted, but this is a straight upgrade because it's the role I want and it's just higher tier. I'm good to go. I can get rid of that crafted one. It's fine.
Ooh, you know what? Something just popped in my mind about Crucible. Will it actually make a difference there?
No. Well, the guns might, but your performance won't change the drops according to the article.
Yeah, like does it do more damage? But like also, obviously, as you guys know, there's a lot of hackers in this game as well, and the game is free. And what these hackers do is that unless they find some way around it, and then they just make another new account and then get the weapons they need and then get back on it. So that's what I'm wondering. Like, will that change how PvP is? Like, will it do more damage? Will it have more accuracy? Something like that. That's a little interesting to me as well, because I've never been a fan of PvP in general, because I just get my ass handed to. But yeah, I'm interested to see that as well. That'd be a nice little topic for PvE. Obviously, like I could see that being a huge difference, but PvP, it's a little touchy.
If I can go into PvP with a tier 5 Elsie's rifle and shit on everybody with their crafted Elsie's rifles and get hate mail from them who are telling me I'm crutching on my tier 5 version of the same fucking gun they're using. Chef's kiss. Mwah, 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 mwah. Feed me all that anger and frustration. I would love it.
Yeah.
I agree, actually. 100%. I would love that shit. That'd be hilarious.
I'd just be texting back every time. Guess you need to grind some more. Smiley face.
Bitch. All right. There was one more thing I wanted to talk about. Are you guys done talking about weapon crafting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He agreed with something, right? You know, that's a win.
He agrees with shitting on people with worse gear in PvP.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think that's fine. Like there's tons of stuff. Like Destiny's actually really good for that. Like having guns not so fucking OP that they absolutely rip the shit out of you. There's lots of games that fail at that miserably. The Division's a perfect example. You can get absolutely fucking just rocked on in the PvP zone in the Division, but somebody that has guns that are just better than you, and not just like, oh, you get I get one extra bullet in the amount of time.
Oh no,
the same amount of time you shoot. Like you get
set bonuses and synergies. Like not just you. Like you go in there with a squad of people that are geared like you, and one of them shows
every
up
one of you.
maximum geared, and he will just fucking wipe the floor with you while talking shit over local comms and teabagging you as he's shooting your friends, you know?
Yeah, and like, and you'd mentioned that's exactly what happens. And there's a lot of games like that. I just brought the Division up because I played a lot of Dark Zone, but Destiny does a great job on that. Like if they were to come out with a weapon that's better, like it would be almost so like you might win a duel with one person.
Yeah.
Because your gun is a little bit better than your, like you have the exact same circumstances, you might win a duel, but you're still going to get one tap by the guy beside him because you're almost dead. Like that's Destiny does a great job with that, with with balancing of the guns in the Crucible, and I don't imagine this would be much different. Even if they do get small stat increases, three extra range or whatever it happens to be, just enough to get you that win in that duel where all the perfect conditions are exactly the same for both characters, then yeah, that's not an issue. That'll never be an issue. And the people that complain about that, yeah, they just need to grind more or shut the fuck up. One of the two. Last thing to talk about. I mean, we didn't really talk about the TWID, but in reality, there's only one thing that anybody really wants to talk about on here, and that is the fact that we've got a date for the dungeon in episode 2, and it's contest mode. I assume for first 48 hours. I don't know. I don't know if they actually said that or not. I also didn't announce the date. What was the date? The 11th? Does that sound right?
But Bungie, I already took the 11th off so I could play the new dungeon. And now I can't because it's contest mode. And I'm scared of the contest mode.
Play contest mode, loser. It's a dungeon. I wonder how hard it's going to be, though. Like, is it going to be fucking, like... Am I going to be banging my head against the wall like we were with Salvation's Edge?
25 under, I would guess.
Yeah, if it's Vex, I could see it being an issue. Like I said, I've never liked fighting Vex and raids in general. Not saying that there hasn't been much Vex raids in general, but they're just boring to me. And there's so many things that can kill you easily, so I could see that being a real big issue for some people. But at the same time, it's a big challenge. So...
Isn't Revenant supposed to be about Scorn, though?
Yeah.
Oh. I thought it was going to be Vex.
That's a Scorn-focused raid. It's Vampire Scorn.
Scorn-focused season.
Just ignore what I said.
Okay. I mean, it could. They might just be like, hey, let's go back, but I really doubt it. Revenant's supposed to be Scorn-based, so I imagine it's going to be a Scorn dungeon. And if it's not, well, they're stupid.
Well, like, I heard rumors, and I've seen rumors online, like, the next dungeon would be on Nessus, and it would be Vex focused, but maybe that's like a upcoming one after the one that you guys just said.
I mean, it could be. The new dungeon could be another Vex dungeon.
It could definitely be a Vex dungeon. I'm just putting things together. Episode 2 is supposed to be about Scorn. Episode 3 is supposed to be about Hive. It doesn't stand any reason why there's going to be why they wouldn't do a Scorn dungeon and a Hive dungeon, but they might absolutely just throw a non-story related dungeon in there for some stupid fucking reason and make it a Vex dungeon. But maybe the Scorn and the Vex are working together. I don't know.
I hope it's Scorn. I hope there's an Abomination boss that is actually a giant ass Screeb that just spawns other Screebs to come after your ass. Yeah, in contest mode at 25 under, that sounds like a lot.
Teleporting Screebs.
Fucking overload
that are
Screebs.
Invisible. Mm-hmm. Teleporting invisible Screebs.
You remember those mini Screebs from the GM back in the day that would hide under the fucking stairs? Yeah. Come on. I want some Screebs that can one-shot me even through fucking triple resist mods and 10 resilience. Let's do it.
I agree. 100%.
Sounds like a good time.
Anyway,
like I'm gonna wait for a guide.
Anyway, yeah, I'm stoked. Obviously, we knew we were getting a dungeon, so that wasn't a big deal. Bungie trying to make a little event out of it, which is nice. Contest mode, I think that's neat. I might not even participate. I don't know. I'm really busy in October. I don't know if I can take time off, but if I can, maybe I will. I'll put a team together, stream it, and see what it is, or see what it's all about. And I never do day one dungeons, so I'm excited for it. Like, I'm considering it, and I never do day one dungeons. I don't care about dungeons. I like raids.
He's making
So that's
excuses ahead of time.
I will definitely be giving it a go.
My point is, I'm considering it this time where I never did before. So whatever the contest mode is exciting me, even though I don't.
Mode solo.
Okay, salty grippo. The legend himself, or esoteric, I guess, is the solo legend, I suppose.
Yep, that's him.
Anyway, didn't they duo duo Ron on day one, or was it trio?
There were duos on day one, I do believe.
I mean, Salt. Did Salt do duos on day one?
I don't. Yes, he did. Yeah, he did trios for sure. I don't know if he did a duo on day one.
I know he did.
I don't remember.
I remember seeing the video and being like pissed off that it took me 13 and a half hours to beat that raid on contest mode, and he's running around doing fucking trios.
Sorry,
That shit's
homie.
crazy. How am I so bad at this game? Is it because I'm old?
No, it's because you're not Titan.
Just to be clear, I've run Titan and Warlock on day ones before because they were needed. So
There's the episode title. It's because you're not Titan.
I was a Warlock for day one King's Fall because we needed well.
So you're gonna be Titan on this day one dungeon. Got it.
No, my Titan's not leveled up.
Oh, that's easy fix.
Nope, can't do it.
Consecration. Consecration times 3. That's all you need. Little
All right.
grapple nade with that as well, and then consecration on the big targets. I'm just saying.
Turns out the fights are on these little tiny platforms that if you consecrate, you're gonna just go flying right off into a fucking pit.
Oh man, that would be the best for me though, because then I'd be like, haha, look at me, I'm better. Your guys' only crutch would be gone.
That's Titan's only crutch, alright.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I forgot about Bonk Hammer.
It's definitely
Keep you alive
the only build
forever.
they have. There's definitely not other viable builds.
All right, shut up. Good lord, we get it. They expect people to be so stupid that are playing Titans that they make the builds really easy.
I should have saved those score screens.
You can score screens all you want. It was all recorded. They could see me just standing there watching you guys fucking beat the shit out of everything.
How's Titans beating you to the punch? That's my question.
Because I was just
Hunter's
standing there
technically
letting
one
you
of the
guys
best.
do all the work. Which one's smarter? The one that made you guys do all the work, or the one just chilling, reading chat?
He's coping now.
He's coping. All right, let's move on to nothing. We're done talking about everything. You got anything you want to shout out? You want to talk about Gambit?
Derelict Prime is coming up on the 21st. Still got a week to sign up. We are giving away Gambit coins stolen straight from GCX to our winning team. Everybody who participates will be getting a server role, and we'll be doing a door prize for some Destiny 2 silver and a big chunk of loyalty points. So come on out, give it a go. It's always a good time. We could use some more teams. I would like to get at least 5 or 6 teams if we can manage it.
This is why Twitter is awesome. Hold on, let it focus. Need to hide.
I think a lot of people got.
I just saw this picture on Twitter.
As a cat fighting a shark, all right.
Sorry, I can't help it. This is why it's good. This is why I keep. This is why I keep it installed. I'm not gonna lie.
All I'm saying, man, is that I feel like everyone is scared of Grim. That dude's a PvP god.
That's what you want
to combat him.
No, you want to know why they're scared of Grim for this? Because 2 years ago, when I took part in Derelict Prime, we were stomping on everyone, and so was Grim's team. And then we came up against each other in the finals, and they had perfected the strat of the 2-phase primeval kill, and we weren't able to get the 2-phase perfect every time. And it was best of 5. I think we ended up winning 1 or 2 of the matches. I can't remember, but only the times that we nailed the 2-phase primeval kill, where we hit all the damage at the same time that it skipped the last phase. So basically, when it's derelict prime is no invasion, so it's all about speed, and there's nothing you can do. So if you can't perfect the 2-phase kill, you're done. You're done. So start practicing. Start practicing, chat. But also the good news is I'm on Grim's team this year and I suck, so I'm gonna be pulling it down.
Just get on Titan. There you go.
Greener's everybody else. Every other team's ringer.
If I get on Titan, Grim will lose, so I'll probably play Hunter. Titans are so bad that they would ruin the whole team, is my point.
Should have brought the scoreboard.
You and your scoreboard, you're obsessed.
Peregrine Greaves, followed up by a Thunder Crash. Dunzo.
Good point.
Wait, what do Peregrine Greaves do?
Massively inflate the amount of damage your shoulder charge does.
Why wouldn't I just use the Thunder Crash chest, though?
Because you want to get the extra burst damage. From the Greaves. Okay. You can do more damage with the shoulder charge plus the Thunder Crash than the Thunder Crash by itself with the extra damage.
You guys say that fucking class isn't broken, but you can do that much damage with.
You can do 1.8 million punches with Hunter. Well, people can. You can't, but people can.
Yeah, but you have to set that up in a perfect fashion. A shoulder charge is just like, hit the button, shoulder charge when I'm running.
Set up the shoulder charge as well.
Oh yeah, it does. Do you have to set up 3 combination blows plus a fucking orb of power and a fucking rainbow lollipop that you stick up your ass?
That's not the combo, Greener. Maybe that's the problem. The lollipop was just the wrong move.
It takes a good 10 seconds to set up a full combination blow, massive flyer's handshake, melee attack.
Oh yeah.
Yes, you got to get up to 3 combination blows first of all, which requires a melee kill, a dodge, a melee kill, a dodge, and a melee kill.
And then another. Definitely not just a ton of trash ads around when you're playing Gambit. So I understand how that could be a problem.
Or GMs.
There.
I'm not sorry, but I'm sorry.
GMs don't have trash ads. Okay. They're all too strong. No, they're all strong.
The Guardians are the trash ads.
Exactly. I can't
Except the Titans, apparently.
A red bar in a GM unless I have stacked combination blow. So if I can't punch something once and kill it, it's not a trash ad. Just so everyone knows.
Okay.
Put some fire into it.
All right, I'm agreeing with you.
A few bullets, dodge, melee.
If I have to shoot it once, even in the fucking foot, for my melee to kill it in one shot, it's not trash ad.
Yeah, you're right, Greener. Titans are OP.
There you go.
Yep.
I'm not saying they're OP. What I'm saying is they're so easy to make OP because all the Titan players are crayon eaters.
Chat, go ahead and clip this. Greener is right. Titans are easy mode. Way easier than Hunters. And Hunters need something to make them a little bit more tanky like Titans.
Spoken like a true hunter. Thank you, Greener. That's going to be a glorious clip.
Also, I can't one-shot melee punch a Titan in Crucible, but they can do it to me. That seems fair.
Hunters are the only class that natively has a one-hit melee in the game without any exotic.
What?
Yeah, way to throw a knife is a one-hit kill. if you hit him in the head.
Oh my god, you gotta aim it. A fucking shoulder charge, you can go wherever you want, and it just fucking zooms you into the side
It
of them.
doesn't kill without Peregrine Greaves, and you have to be in the air long enough for that to have procced.
Okay. It's not very hard.
Neither is just hitting them in the head with your knife.
You
And
have
if
to
you
be able
wanna-
to aim
if-
to hit them in the head.
If you don't want to have to aim, all you need to do is slap on Athras Embrace and get 3 headshots within 10 seconds of throwing your knife. And then you don't even have to, you can close your eyes as long as it bounces off 2 walls. That knife will actually go around corners to get people. You know how I know that? I've done it.
Okay. You okay? You done?
One time,
going.
I'm burning
Keep
Shrine.
going.
I'm burning Shrine outside in the open area with the cliff on the one side. Throw a knife at somebody that's got the weighted knife bonus on it, the enhanced knife. They manage to dodge out of the second bounce. The knife goes flying off the cliff and like a boomerang loops back around without hitting anything else, goes around a corner and kills the person I threw it at initially. They weren't even standing anywhere near where they started. That's how good the tracking on those things is, if you get them going.
Okay. Send me the clip. We got to get off here. All right.
I did already.
Okay. All right. So go sign up for Gambit Prime or Derelict Prime. It's our No Invasion Gambit tournament. It's awesome. It's a good time. There's lots of prizes to be won. Get a Gambit coin, some loyalty points, maybe some silver. Have some fun. It's on the 21st of September on a Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Play all
Go to our
Titans and
Discord.
AGreener so we can have this discussion.
Fuck, I
Do
could
it all
play a
the time.
Warlock and beat a Titan. It's easy.
Except in a GM. Got it. All right.
They're on my team in a GM.
Score wise,
What are you going on about? Anyway.
third place every time.
Oh, that's not true, actually.
It really is though, because I remember all of them.
Oh, I definitely know for a fact that I was like, oh my god, I didn't do anything. How did I beat them? That came out of my mouth at one point in the stream, so just saying.
Time to go look up this VOD.
My god, it would be easier just to look up the activities on Bungie.net.
That's true. You got a point there.
I do got a point. I'm brilliant. It's okay, though. It
All
doesn't
right.
matter.
Finish your outro so
Uh,
you can get out of here.
Yeah, I wanted to say something on it, but I can't remember what it was. All right, whatever. Anyway, thanks for watching this episode of This Week at Shrouded. It was awesome. I was your host, AGreener. This is Mr. Wrecked over there. This is Brig over down there. I totally forgot what I was doing. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. If you want to stick around if you're watching live or on Patreon, stick around for the post show. If you're watching on YouTube, you should watch live, and you can stick around for the post show on Twitch, twitch.tv/RowdyGaming. All right, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.
Rainbow lollipops.